road. So some shit went down, everybody.
Uh-huh. Indeed. Yes. Who did it?
Yeah, we met with the Deep Ones, who had requested your aid to help them talk sense into the Duke and get his help dealing with the Skinner. Everything was going swimmingly until the Duke started to, be highly skeptical of all of this. Demanded the arrest of these cloaked figures. But Elman was given a coin that was apparently enchanted in some way. And when he flipped it, a small army of Deep Ones came pouring out of a gap between time and space. A sort of negative zone. And the fight with the Duke's guards was over swiftly. But, then Elman and the Deep Ones, the Inga started butting heads about who was going to be in control. And Elman pulled the biggest trigger he had, summoning his grim patron, the Black Annis, who we see displayed before us, in one of her forms. And the battle ensued. Revolt, being a good paladin, could not stand this evil creature to live. And Mog, being a faithful ally, stood in defense of Revolt. Elman flung more magic that encased Revolt in clay, leaving him helpless before the vicious assault of the Black Annis. Betlick was in the background. He won't be joining us. It seemed like he was on his way out, so he's probably fled the scene.
Yeah, I think we know his answers.
Yeah. And, of course, the Inga, they're not unarmed. And they're in full fighting strength. With weapons, spears, pikes, swords, powder-powered rifles, and, of course, sorcerous fire. So, instead of go blow by blow with that, which would be highly complicated, we're gonna do a montage. It's not really a montage. We're gonna do our love letter here. Get thee behind me. The battle with Black Annis quickly erupts into a whirlwind of fire, blood, and death. As the Inga try to contain her, she savagely assaults Revolt. It is certain that Black Annis will suffer severe harm against the vast numbers of powerful foes present, even if she is victorious. When you try to fight and or survive the battle with Annis, answer the questions below for your character, and roll plus the total of your answers. So as we get these answers from you guys are still going to be like narrating what you do and the effects that are caused. We're going to tally the total, and then at the end we're going to roll for everybody as the battle progresses.
Okay.
The first one is Betlick. It's very funny. That surely the man's man can defeat the Black Annis, but also do you just run away? And yes, he did. I had a really good one that I really wanted him to do. It was like, yeah, do you make a show of siding with the Ingo Botrani, right? Helping them. And if yes, he gets to roll +1. But then he gets to decide whether the Ingo Botrani get to roll +1 or -1, right?
Yeah, that's a bit like.
Is he just screwing them over? Yeah. But he just flees the scene, so he's just the hell out of here. I'll set up each of you like with sort of your options and kind of explain things. So for Mog, it's just in alphabetical order. So I shouldn't skip Elman. For Elman, your magic has summoned a greater evil bent on defeating and dominating all in her presence. Calling on your faithful service, Black Annis has commanded you to kill them all. However, between the Ingo Botrani and your former allies, the task may well cost you your life. So you have 4 questions. Everybody has 4. Whether you forsake your own safety to deliver a killing blow, you'll get a +1, but another character present, it could be the Black Annis, could be the Ingo Botrani, could be Mog or Ravelt. They get to make a move against you. They don't have to roll that move. If it's a player character, they just do it as if they rolled a 10+, a 12+.
Okay.
You can expend all of your luck, right? Using all of your luck to dodge bullets and duck fire and avoid being stabbed. You get a +1 to your roll, but your luck is gone. And you can give up your own life force to Annis to empower her. That'll give you a +1. This is your option that has a problem, right? The problem only happens if you choose to on a 10+, or on anything below a 10, it's going to happen. Where the Black Annis drinks deeply from your life force, and you reduce your constitution by 3. Permanently. And you can say, would you try to hold back against a former ally? Like, maybe Elman isn't all about trying to completely destroy these people who you once called friends. You take a -1 to your roll, but you can give either Mog or Ravelt a +1 to their roll. So you can mull that over. For Mog, these Outlanders have proven to become stranger and stranger with each passing moment. Perhaps it was when Elman turned into rats, or Ravelt set himself on fire on purpose. Anyway, as the battle gets underway, you are standing in defense of Ravelt against the overwhelming force of the Black Annis. You can suffer Annis's initial assault to protect Ravelt. If you do that, you take a -1 to your roll because she's a quasi-demonic witch. But the Black Annis rolls a -1 as well. You can ignore your own safety and use the fiery chaos to your advantage. If yes, there's a problem. You get a +1 because you're a barbarian, and this fool magic cannot dissuade you from your appetites. But your problem that you'll have is that you get caught up in the magic somehow. Everybody here has crazy magic. The Ingo Botrani have crazy magic. Black Annis obviously has crazy magic. Ravelt has divine power flowing through him. Elman does demon things. I'll just decide, right? I already know which one I want it to be, but you get to try and guess which one I already have in mind. You can say, so the next one's sort of a flashback.
Yeah.
Did you make a deal with the Sunhawks, Gerstina, I guess, to be
probably.
watching? Yeah. So they would be running in here to help you, right? They would be in the wings waiting to assault also, and the Inga Botrani would take a -1 to their roll, right? They can't take over the city if the barbarian mercenaries show up. Do you spin the summoner's coin when Hagor asks you to? You remember you found that coin in the sewer.
Right.
And you saw Elman do the thing. You know probably along the lines of what that'll do. And Hagor would point at you and say, spin the coin, fool. If you do, you get a +1, and the Inga Botrani get a +1. For Ravolt, you have been encased in a shell of clay, thanks to Elman's magic, and face down the vicious assault of the Black Annis. You are protected from the magic of Annis, because of the protection of your god against necromancy. But even the power of Rickard may not be enough to protect you from from her demonic strength. To survive her assault will be a true test of faith. You can forsake your allies to pursue Black Annis. This is you being ultimately zealous. You don't protect your friends. You're going to roll a last breath. You get a +1 for that, but you're going to roll a last breath roll. It's not for you. It's for each of your hirelings, one at a time. That could involve deals with death. You'll get to answer for them, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
God.
Does your mark become a beacon calling the faithful? If yes, you roll +1. This is you like you have that mark of divine authority. It would separate from you and call the faithful to your side. They don't show up immediately. They would probably show up in the future. I'll be straight up about that.
Okay.
But you would lose your mark, right? That would be taken away from your boons, and you don't get to replace it with a different boon. Do you let the full power of Rickard flow through you? If yes, you get a +1. Divine power is super strong. There's a problem. The problem is that bursting into flames scars you forever, permanently reducing your charisma by 3 points.
Right.
And the last one is, would you try to take Elman from the grasp of Annis? Rather than just kill him, right? Reduce her hold over him. You get a -1 if you do that. Even your divine power is matched against the Black Annis's, but Annis would roll -1.
Right.
At the very bottom are the NPC groups, the Black Annis and the Inga Batrani. And they still are going to roll on this. As you saw, you can affect their rolls. They have goals instead of options. The Black Annis wants to return to her realm with many new servants. That's her goal, if she gets the success. The Inga Batrani want to capture the city and use its forces to attack the Skinner. When you roll on a 10+, you don't suffer from your problem unless you choose to. You definitely survive the fight. You don't suffer any other ill effects. But you can choose to suffer from your problem. If you want to give a +1 to another character. That can be another player character or one of the NPCs. On a 7 to 9, you survive the battle, but your problem comes true, basically. And on a miss, you get the problem, and you roll last breath. For the NPCs, a 10+, they get their goal. On a 7 to 9, they don't. And on a miss, they're dead. NPCs don't roll last breath. Usually, unless you're Ravolt in this specific case. So that's the situation, right? She goes charging at Ravolt. Ravolt goes charging at her. Mog is moving to intervene. His allies are with him. And then Elman shoots a spell. The Swarm of Clay? Is that what it was? Like insects made of clay?
Clay Swarm.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
Clay Swarm. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. That attach all over his body and encase him in clay as he is stuck in place. And the Black Annis knows she has her upper hand over him. But the Inga Batrani have those big arquebus rifles. Smoke shoots. The sorcerers, the Mysteros, the one Mystero, launches fire, covers the playing field. There is much dying and screaming going on. We're going to take, as you guys want to answer one question at a time, right? And I just want to see your actions. You don't have to answer them in order. Some of them are maybe more ordered than the others, but yeah. Any one of you can answer a question first.
Do you let the full power flow through you? Yes.
So describe to me how that happens. The Black Annis, she has long, dark raven hair, and is wearing sort of this tight-fitting gown. but it's not like a robe. She wouldn't like trip up over it walking, right? It's more like a long coat. And as she comes at you, her sharp, angular features become somewhat more terrifying in nature, and her claws, her nails, grow long and monstrous, and she is looking to tear your skin from your very body if her magic cannot touch you. And you're encased in clay. She has you at her fingertips. How does the full power of Rickard flow through you?
Yeah, so my skin's already like torn, and there's like that weird white marble stuff underneath. It's already fucking gross, and it hurts a lot to move. I'm all encased, and I guess like as she's closing in, the sort of divine fury within me kind of like bubbles up or whatever, and the divine power is kind of, I don't know, like it like a fire in my heart that bursts outward, and I think like my eyes like glow like with firelight for a bit before they blacken and there's just like smoke pooling out. The marble starts to like crack and stuff, and like fire shoots out of it and burns whatever is left of my skin on the outside. My hair lights up and burns away. I become a gross human torch.
Gross human torch.
And yeah.
Oh, we should play gross superhero game one day. Okay, I'm just storing that away.
Yeah. And like I'm encased in this clay, so like all the heat's like kind of trapped in there, so maybe the clay's like bubbling and stuff. And hardening, I guess, making it horrible and bad. But yeah, I don't know, like.
Sure, I think that's
Yeah.
That's good enough. Yeah, you burst free from your bonds.
Sure.
I think that begs a question then from Mog. I don't know which question you were thinking of answering first, but do you suffer Annis's initial assault to protect Ravolt?
Well, that was one I was having a hard time deciding on.
Yeah, now is the time. She's closing in. Fire is bursting from the cracks of the clay. He is almost free.
It's got to be yes. Then yes.
How does that look? Do you just like?
So she's coming at him, and he's like all this. I imagine I'm just gonna step up and like look menacing and take like a swing, intended not so much to hit as to threaten. I mean, I don't know if I know anything about this. She may just be a lady to me. I'm like,
she's just a. I think.
She's intimidating.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I mean, you know something of magics. Well, let me ask you that, Mog. Here's a question for your barbarian. I know we skipped in XP, by the way, but we'll get back to that. Yeah, Mog, what do your people know of magic and divine power and demons?
Okay. I think the way I imagine is they would have like some shamans, some practitioners of magic, not a whole lot. But more like arcane rituals, or they probably worship like a small pantheon of gods. But they acknowledge a lot of animal spirits. They probably don't really differentiate between like demonic and angelic kind of beings, but they know that some things are evil. They aren't good to be involved in. And this lady wears a lot of black, which is a bad sign. So yeah.
Yeah, and she looks menacing, right? She looks horrendous.
Yeah, she also grew out of a pile of blood.
Yes,
that's right.
Like everybody's just doing crazy shit.
Right. He may think like, oh, this lady comes out of Elman's blood. That's how she lives. That's just how you people are. He turns into rats. She lives in his blood.
I don't know who this blood prostitute is, but
yeah, and I think as she's coming in, like, she does get distracted by you, obviously. And as she's about to pounce on you, that's when the fire bursts off from the clay, and Ravelt is there, his skin melting and vaporizing from his body as he stands there, and it spreads in all directions. And for a moment, you're all just like engulfed in smoke and fire. We don't see how Mog fared in a one-on-one with her because of the smoke and fire.
Yeah.
Elman, why don't you answer a question though?
Yeah. Do you forsake your own safety to deliver a killing blow? I think so.
So
I think
yeah.
as Annis is like fighting Ravels, and that whole magic mess is going on.
Yeah.
I focus on the Mistral, right?
Okay. So you like run at him and try to kill him?
Yeah. Like I charge him and I try to focus the Crimson Flow on him.
Okay. So you like latch onto him and start like draining the blood from his body.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so you latch onto him and you're draining the life from him, so choose a character present who gets to make a move against you.
Oh, I choose.
You choose.
Um,
Tiny
I
chocolate
mean,
font.
I mean,
Yeah, he's the most
Yeah.
savage. Don't choose him.
fuck it.
Very established. He crawls inside your mouth and takes apart your teeth.
Don't do a hireling. They don't really have them. If you choose a hireling, I would just say Raveled. Right.
Yeah. No, I think it's the Mistral, right?
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. We're
Well, he's got.
engaging in our own duel.
Yeah, he's definitely got moves.
Yeah, that's fair. Sleep.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna drain your blood, sleep.
okay. So there's a couple of options. One of them is spin the summoner's coin, right? He pulls out a coin, ping, and more bastards show up, but I'm not going to do that one. The other one is cast a spell of enchantment, which he's been doing, as you saw, or summoning. So I think he's going to cast a spell of summoning. And the spell of summoning... Let me see if it's not summon fire elemental first.
How big is this room? Just
You guys are outside in front
Yeah, we're
of
out in
the...
front of the palace.
oh, in like a courtyard. Okay, this makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
I was imagining like this was like a throne room or something, and I'm like, this room's really full, guys.
Some peasant walks by in the street, like, what is going on?
What does he summon? He wants to summon something. Oh, summon feast. That's what he does. He summons a feast.
Yes.
And everyone stops fighting.
Everyone
No,
eat up.
Yeah. Now we stop. We stop for a while and then continue.
He summons a monster, definitely. What's the monster? It's a creature from the deep. A thing from the deep down.
Purple worm.
Could be.
I don't know.
Like, is that like a sandworm from Beetlejuice or something?
Kind of.
Yeah. They're not so dangerous. I wrestled one.
Mm-hmm. I took out its brain.
And wore it as a hat for a while.
What a hat!
Hey,
What a
he
hat.
summons an apocalypse dragon.
We're bad. We're bad people. Okay. It's is it chaos spawn? No, it's not chaos spawn. Could just be a dragon. Minotaur. I kind of don't hate Minotaur. Dragon seems too much. That seems like... Oh, by the way, I could have won this fight instantly all along. A vicious sort of half-man, half-crawdad, cursed with primal intelligence and blessed with a pair of razor-sharp claws. Strange things lurk in the stinking pools and caverns best forgotten, and the Chul is one of them. If you spot one, your best hope is a heavy mace to crack its shell, and maybe a little garlic butter. Yeah, it's a Chul. This big, like, sort of crawdad, choppy thing bursts up from the ground, a claw, right? A claw from the ground reaches up and grasps around Elman. And is trying to, like, pull him back and sever him as the rest of the body works to get itself up out of the dirt. This thing is big, right? Yeah, this thing is big. It's like the size of a not like a, it's like the size of a truck, right? It's a truck-sized thing.
Damn.
It's not an 18-wheeler. Yeah. Cool. Let's come back around to Ravelt or Mog, but
Yeah.
I mean, I can say I probably would have made a deal with Gerstina that we're going to try to help each other. So,
Okay.
I mean, that just seems like an easy one to answer. So,
sweet. Okay, so Mog is going to take another +1. So you're at +2. Wait, are you at +1?
I'm at 0.
You're at 0 because you took a -1 for fighting Annis. That's right. Annis is at a -1.
Oh shit.
And
Well,
the,
you're not Annis. You're still Elman. So,
And we're one and the same.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
and this will put the Inga Batrani at -1 as Sunhawks, a great cry goes up, a horn is sounded, and they come in on their horses. Axes and spears leveled and ready, and they come charging in to drive away these interlopers to earn their pay and their reputation. What color is Gerstina's fur? Is it
that's a good question. Sorry. I imagine her looking a bit more like a hyena than a wolf.
okay?
So I guess kind of that light yellow with like brown spots.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she comes riding in, and I think the Sunhawks wear armor. They definitely wear some like heavy gear.
Bone armor.
Golden armor, probably not. It's metal, right? They trade with dwarves, apparently, right? So there you go. Yeah, and Gerstina, I think she definitely has a battle axe. Yeah, okay.
Sounds
cool.
good to me.
Yeah, she's riding like no hands on the horse. She and her horse are one, and she's got the battle axe in both hands, just like and probably like whacks a dude's head off right from his shoulders, because they don't know that maybe the Inga Batrani are on your side. They just see people attacking, and they start to lay waste to them. Yeah. Ravelt.
Yeah. Would you try to take Elman from the grasp of Annis? Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
So how does that happen?
No, give up on me.
Yeah, so, Mog, waylaid her for a moment, and, like, the clay breaks away, and, like, the heat blows out, and, I'm just this burning man. And, Elman is, I guess he's like, tangled up with the Mistral, whatever. I imagine they're still pretty close though, because the Mistral was like right next to him when he summoned Annis. And I guess like Mog is holding her back for a moment. So yeah, my first action, because he did this clay thing and I can't have him doing that again. I kind of grab him, try to wrestle him down, but I grab him and I put my like burning hands on him, and the fire or the smoke or whatever starts to like flow into him a bit, like trying to weaken this sort of tether, trying to burn away this tether he has to her.
Yeah, it's got some magic flame.
Yeah.
It's like some Ghost Rider bullshit. It doesn't burn you.
Yeah.
Okay, Elman, why don't you answer another one?
Yeah. Would you try to hold back against a former ally? I think you're like penance staring me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you see the mark of Black Annis recede a bit, so you can now see my pupils and kind of the form of my face. But there's something in the back of my head that goes like spins and twists as it takes over again, and this time it's just a full mask instead of just eyes.
Oh, is that
So I'm not gonna hold back.
okay? So that's a no on
Okay.
that one.
Cool.
Yeah, you're wrestling with the power over him. Yeah. Elman's making some good Nick Cage faces. I didn't know that Elman was played by Nick Cage until now, but it makes a lot of sense.
You wanna?
He is the greatest
Alphabet?
thief.
I can sing the alphabet.
Okay. Yeah, and this Chul creature is definitely like set back as Ravelt comes in, but it's still menacing, and it's probably raising up its claw, threatening to strike just the both of you, just to try and hammer fist you both to death. But maybe the Mystero is waiting to see how this fight goes between you before deciding to do that. Okay, Mog, your barbarian friends are here. Those two are trying to murder each other.
Yes. I will ignore my own safety and use the fiery chaos to my advantage for sure.
So how does that? So I guess like Ravelt explodes, and there's fire and smoke everywhere, and you and the Black Annis are like blown about, and Ravelt leaps forth in a sudden burst of energy, grabs Elman. Yeah, how do you ignore your own safety and embrace this fiery chaos in your battle with the Black Annis?
I'm gonna try to get away from the Black Annis and go help Ravelt waylay Elman if I can.
Okay, so in the like chaos, you just like
Yeah.
brush past her.
Because I was there to protect Ravelt, and then he's gone. So there's smoke and fire. I don't know. I'm small. I'll go between some Ingo Batrani legs, and
Yeah,
just try to get over there.
it's gonna be a harsh life defending Ravelt. I'll say that.
Well, I'm the greatest
Yes.
danger to myself. So.
I do.
Yeah.
I do have a different bond with him written out in preparation. I think
Yeah.
I found one along the lines of, this person doesn't seem to know much about the world. I fear for their safety.
Yep. So
I will.
Hey, wisdom, yo. Hey, wisdom.
you don't duck from the fire that erupts from Ravelt. You just run through it. You breathe in the smoke and enjoy the smell of victory. And you dart between bullets that are firing, and you're pretty sure most of them didn't hit you. And
We'll find out in a minute.
you sprint between Chul legs as they break up the ground and pierce holes in the dirt. and you're up on the staircase as now Elman's like blood-sucking magic is just going every which way, and maybe a bullet hole or two starts to seep blood toward him, and you're like, ah, damn it, I thought I dodged that one. All right, you get the +1 on that one. We're gonna see how much magic. I'm still not telling you which magic hits you. Right? I included all the magic.
All magic at once.
And Raveled.
Yeah. So.
What's the next one?
Does your mark become a beacon calling the faithful? Yes. So, I'm like trying to, burn away this tether to Elman, and I see like this mask, whatever form. So I guess like I throw him back, whatever. He's unsavable, or whatever. Or maybe not. Maybe like I don't know if I'm angry with him too much, but whatever. I toss him back. He's not gonna be able to break this if this thing still lives. And that's when Mog runs in and I guess is like, we basically tag out. And I still whatever. He runs in and like I turn to face the Annis, and I run towards her.
Don't face the Anus.
Two-handing the sword, and I think like as I'm running towards her, this fire that's enveloping me, right? Like the marble was all cracked as it was like feeding out of it. It starts to crack more and more until finally it sort of like explodes out like this little marble shrapnel everywhere. But then the fire kind of like blows upward as this sort of like, it's not a fist, it's almost like in the shape of a burning hand reaching up for like the moon or the sun, whatever time of day. Yeah, towards the moon because it's at night. Yeah, this big burning hand shoots up out of me as I run towards her.
Yeah, and it just hangs over the city, right? Like, burning brightly.
The claw of fire.
The claw. Okay. All right, Elman.
Yeah. I think Anna's, like, she's getting shot at. She's fighting this Chul, and she sees the hand of fire in the air.
Yeah.
I think she wants more power. So, do you give up your own life force to empower Annis? Yes. She charges through everyone, right? Seeing that I'm just sucking blood.
Yeah.
Charges through everyone and slams on me with her mouth and swallows me whole. Right? So I'm inside her, like, curled into a ball, still sucking blood.
Okay, yeah, so bursting from the fire, you like elbowed her in the face, and you're like, get out of my way! And she go running, and she slams backward, and as you're running past, then her body starts to like contort and break in weird ways as the fire rushes over, and then you guys are up there on the stairs, beating on each other, shooting fire in each other's mouths, sucking each other's blood with your dark magics, doing whatever Mog does, headbutting and groin kicking, and out of the smoke now comes Annis, transformed into a large creature, right? And sort of like this emaciated looking monster with big claws and a massive jaw, and I think she like swipes away the Chul, and it goes sprawling to the side and smashes a small building as it's trying to get back to its feet. Yeah, and just like slams its fist in there and rips away Elman, and just swallows him. Okay.
I didn't know Elman was into it.
All right, we got our vor scene.
Some weird shit.
Okay, so Elman is looking at a problem now, and so is Mog.
I think we all are.
Yeah, everybody took the problem.
Yeah.
So, Mog just has one more, so I guess Hagor comes up as she's standing over you all now. Hagor comes running by and he says, "Spin the summoner's coin, you fool!"
And I will do so. I will say I didn't even know you knew I had it, but
I know all things. Okay. So you
it
forsake
isn't
your...
going to depreciate in value, is it?
I forgot you had...
Engaged in a
I forgot you had,
lengthy
like,
economics.
you're completely ass backward about, like, what anybody does outside of the Badlands, but you're really good at, like, currency exchange.
I studied abroad for my
Yeah.
PhD in economics.
I'm a barbarian dwarf, but I'm still a dwarf. Come on, man. Yeah, so you basically said yes to everything.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Mog's got a +2 total, and he has a problem coming. And... Okay. Yeah, so you spin the coin. Boing! And of course, rushing out, another Mystero, another pile of soldiers, and they engage in a fight with the Sunhawks, and they are trying to attack the great monster. It's complete freaking chaos. Some of the Sunhawks have decided, like, geez, kill that thing. And they're still fighting the Ingabatrani, and they're shooting at them, and bullets are bouncing off their armor. One of them catches a solid blow. A horse goes sprawling over. Not to mention the fire everywhere. Horses and warriors lost in flames and smoke. Okay, Ravel, one last question.
It's the hardest one, though.
It is. What have you completely forgotten the rest of them? Did you leave them behind to pursue the destruction of this evil, as was decreed by your god?
You're good. You're good, not lawful.
Take your time.
I mean, I can't suffer her to live, but I mean, what are my things? 'Cause
I think, so here's the thing, is like, there's all this fire spreading, right? And this great hand of fire over the sky. And I think that you could call down, right, a column of flame to engulf her. But you know that you see Tiny Chocolate Fun and, what are they? Emily de Poitiers and Bradley nearby. You know that calling down that column will engulf them as well.
yeah. I can't, right? Like, so I have valor, sure. I can't let her live, but I also have honor, which this isn't cowardly, but like and hospitality and all that. They're here to fight evil too, and I feel if I'm willing to sacrifice them to defeat evil, then I'm no better. So yeah. So no, I don't take that one. Like, I could call down the fire and I see the opportunity, but then like I see them engaged with her and like in around it. And maybe there's a point where she's like gonna sweep down and like rip Bradley in half or something. But like I like kind of like grab and like tackle him to the side or whatever, and I get she cuts into my fire instead.
Yeah, Bradley is doomed, but then Ravel comes in, protecting his allies. All right, man.
Yeah,
You're a hero, sir.
I am a
commend
hero.
you. We'll all remember you.
Okay.
And Elman,
Yeah.
did you expend your luck to survive all those teeth, the tongue, the stomach juices?
This is tough.
Yeah, this is a hard one.
Because I can use luck to reroll the coming roll, right?
Yeah, I mean, luck applies at all times, right?
What is a +1? Is it a +1 to Annis as well?
No.
Okay.
Right now, she is sitting at a -1.
Shit.
Yeah. You gave her some strength by letting her eat your blood.
Okay. No, then I don't expend all my luck. I think I'm safe in her womb, or dark magic, something womb. So I'm protected by it.
Wait. Yeah. Hang on, is that true? No, she's at a -2. I'm sorry.
Dang it.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. I didn't want to mislead you. She is at a -2 because Mog... I think that's right.
Well, I gave her a -1. I
And I
don't
can
know.
remind-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give her a -1.
But did Elman give her a +1 for
Gave
eating
her a
it?
+1. And Mog gave her a -1. So
I
should
think it would
a
be
minus.
-1.
Actually,
Yeah, you
I
didn't take the.
Actually, Elman, I'm sorry. Her taking your power is what introduced your problem. It doesn't actually give her a +1. So Mog gave her a -1. Ravelt gave her a -1. You could give her a +1 now. No, you can't. Giving up your luck just gives up your luck, but it gives you a +1. You can give her a +1 if you get a 10+.
Okay.
But right now she's at a -2. Sorry.
In that case, I don't spend the luck.
Okay, so you keep your luck, yeah.
Yeah, it's more use.
Okay, so she stands at a -2. You stay at a +1. Or +2, I'm sorry. +2, Elman. But you have all of your luck.
Yeah.
Okay, Mog answered his questions. Everybody answered their questions, so let's do Ravelt first, his role. Obviously,
Quick question.
yeah.
You said if we take our problem on a 10+, we can give someone a +1. But what if they already rolled?
Yeah, it'll just apply after. Right?
Oh,
So
okay.
if Ravelt rolls a 6 now and you get a 10, you can say, okay, I'll take my problem and give Ravelt an extra +1 to get him to a 7.
Okay, cool.
So I think I'm at a +1. I think, yeah. +1 from Beacon, +1 from Power, -1 from the severing thing, and I didn't take the first one, so I'm at a +1.
That's right.
Okay. And I did expend all my luck last time, but I have a +1 forward, so it would mitigate the -1 that I take to everything.
Dang it. Hang on, I
For
screwed
this
up.
one roll.
I screwed up. Crap. Hold on. I mean, you can roll.
Okay. Of course.
Fuck.
There's that 6 we talked about.
There's that 6.
Oh.
Wait, you're out of luck?
I have none.
Shit.
So you rolled a 6. We won't resolve all that stuff right now. Your problem will come into effect, so we can resolve that. Nobody's going to give you enough bonuses. So your charisma, yeah, you will be burned for 3 points of your charisma.
Cool. Okay. Charisma's now 12.
Yeah, you're becoming a hardened warrior. You're growing up so fast, Revel. Let's do Mog next. Mog has a
So-
+2.
+2. So it's 2d6 +2, right?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, shit.
Killed it.
Yep.
All right. I
could
will
save me
take the
from-
problem to save Raffle from dying.
Perfect. So you're gonna take your problem, which is you are swallowed up by some magic. So Ravelt is about to die, right? He is facing down Black Annis, and I think she has him in a grasp, and she's about to destroy him. When you spin the coin, bing, right? And these soldiers come rushing out and blast her with fire, and Ravelt drops from her grasp, and he hits the ground hard. And I think that's when his flames finally extinguish. The flames burning his body anyway. That hand is still in the sky. And she stumbles, and you can see, she has bullet wounds, slices, cuts, everything all over. And she, stumbles visibly now. But Mog, when it happens, like there's a big force, like a sort of an intake when you spin that coin,
Uh-huh.
and you like stumble forward,
Oh,
and
no.
along with a couple of like dead soldiers, and you're like drawn into it like a black hole. And when it swallows back closed, there's just the coin, ding, 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 and Mog is not there.
Oh, no. My own magic. I didn't even think about that.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you, though. You saved my life.
go ahead, Elman. You've got a plus 2.
Dang it.
Okay.
Okay.
So your problem comes to fruition, and yeah, so she's falling over, and she's having a hard time now. She's finally succumbing to all of these wounds, and God, how gross do I want to make it?
Very.
I mean, we're already there.
So she like takes this big clawed hand and jams it into her body, right? And when she pulls it out, there's this mess of black gore, and it sort of slumps away, and you see Elman, and she just like crunches your body, and just like that black gore and stuff seeps in as like wounds start to close. And she just sort of like tosses you like a rag doll as she tries to climb back to her feet, speeding up that whole absorbing your life force thing.
Squeeze the blood out of me.
Okay, let's roll for the Inga Petrani first, because that's more suspenseful. They have a +0. Raveled, go ahead and roll for them. Just 2d6.
Of course.
Those bad
no.
motherfuckers. Those bad motherfuckers.
God damn it.
Yeah, the Sunhawks. I think the
Want anyone
Sunhawks.
to win this.
The Sunhawks are driven back, right? And because there's so many Inga Petrani coming out of that portal, the sorceress fire, the bullets. Gerstina isn't killed. She actually calls for the retreat, right? She doesn't want everybody to just die here, and all this demon magic crap. She calls for the retreat, and yeah, they are shooting and shooting, and leading, stabbing great pikes up into Black Annis as she opens up a tear of her own and draws these bodies, the dead, toward her, and some of the living also, and grasps to take them with her. Elman, you're going to roll for her. -2.
Hey.
Wow, cool.
Neat.
Yeah, so she's not dead. I mean, dead for her would have meant not actually gone, but she's drawing these bodies with her. Yeah, the Mystero that steps out, the fresh one who hasn't had life drained from her. Yeah, she steps out and like points her hand, and this big dart of fire, this big sort of like icicle-shaped spear of fire leaps out and pierces the Black Annis in her monstrous chest cavity. Fire leaps away from her and leaps out of her mouth as she goes stumbling back into her rip and returns to her realm injured, with no more lives to claim for it. Yay!
Yeah.
So, did Elman go back with her?
No,
Or-
no. Elman's
No,
laying
I
there.
want everybody, not you.
He
Pile
gave
of
herself
blood.
a cesarean and just threw him on the ground.
Oh man, yeah. And the rip like closes up. The Mysteros like use their magic to seal her rip up, to seal this gateway she's opened, and she is pushed back to her realm. So Mog is in a coin, and Ravelt has been burnt again, worse this time, and
But he did miraculously survive.
he did miraculously survive. Elman has been crushed and maimed, but also miraculously survived. Yeah, the scene sort of closes on like the smoke and the little flames still flickering, and probably looks up at that hand still in the sky burning, calling the faithful. But we should take a break there, I think.
Yeah. Man,
All right.
it's okay.
All right,
My
let's take,
dudes are alive. I'm not dead. Alright.
let's take 5.
All right.